Frederick did apply for work. Now she has been turned away, and Narcissus called on other political parties and the public to inform returning officers if any poll day staff is seen canvassing for a political party. In the video, Frederick blatantly declared her support for the PNM.
What is your hopes for the general election coming up?
Well, obviously for PNM to come back in power.
But do you think that Foster Cummings does do his
Of course he does.
Right.
He does be wrong. I can't say for Waller Field.
Right.
Because I am from Central.
Right.
You are down
That's passing through.
But we see him on a regular basis.
Right, lovely, right?
We see him.
Thank you so much. Have a good afternoon.
Very great, and he will continue to do very great, and great is the PNM, and we will prevail.
And UNC political leader Kamala Prasad-Bissessar told CNC3 News that this is proof that the EBC is, quote, a corrupted mess of an organization.
But NTA leader Gary Griffith commended the EBC for its action and said this shows that the institution is independent and fair. Health Secretary Dr. Faith Brebner has won her lawsuit over a search warrant obtained during a probe into THA officials. This morning, High Court Judge Frank C. Prasad upheld Dr. Brebner's judicial review case over the warrant. He found that the warrant, granted by a justice of the peace in July 2023, was flawed as it was based on defective information. Justice C. Prasad also found there were no reasonable grounds for believing the warrant for Dr. Brebner's home in Belgarden, Tobago, would have yielded evidence relative to the probe conducted by police. That probe stemmed from an audio recording from an alleged whistleblower who claimed that THA officials had hired someone to administer a propaganda campaign.
A 21-year-old mother is demanding justice after the death of her newborn son, accusing the San Fernando General Hospital of medical negligence.
The first-time parents believe their baby's death was caused by a severe reaction to medication administered during labor, and they're calling for answers.
Rishi Raghunath and Sasha Wilson bring us more.
21-year-old Natalia Ramdan and 27-year-old Moses Leopold are demanding answers following the death of their newborn son at the San Fernando General Hospital.
I do believe that the medication they gave me caused my baby to die. Justice for my baby.
Now Leopold tells CNC3 News he was excited about fatherhood and anticipated no problems as his girlfriend's pregnancy was without complications. But on March 21st, his dreams were shattered.
All I want is justice for my baby and for them to give me the right reasons as to what caused my son to die.
Ramdan says on the labor ward she was given pethidine, a strong painkiller with adverse side effects.
I was given Buscopan first, and then a little while after, they gave me another injection, which they never told me the name of.
She recalls feeling drowsy and was drifting in and out of sleep. When baby Kaziel was born shortly before 1:30 in the afternoon, he was taken away in an incubator. But Leopold says he didn't know he was in distress until he went to see his baby in the neonatal intensive care unit around 4 p.m.
She come and explained to me that in delivery, the child went into cardiac arrest and they resuscitated him and he's stable for the while.
Ramdan says she was unaware that her baby was in distress as she had to undergo surgery because her cervix was torn during labor. Later that night, their baby took a turn for the worse.
I know he was a fighter from birth because I'm a fighter. So I was trying to console him again and tell him fight, son, fight. Daddy say, breathe, son, breathe. With tears in my eyes.
An autopsy listed his death as acute respiratory failure pending further investigations. But the Southwest Regional Health Authority is maintaining that its medical team provided the best level of care to the mother and baby. The authority added that the autopsy's findings appeared to be unrelated to the medical care administered. The authority indicated that a further review of the circumstances is currently underway. Sasha Wilson, CNC3 News.
Still to come in the news, Prime Minister urges citizens to remain calm over revocation of OFAC license. He's in communication with Venezuela.
And coming up in sport, with the regional 4-day title on the line, Cephas Cooper and Jid Gooley help TNT fight back on day 1 against Guyana.
I retired in 2002. When I retired, my pension was $1,000 from NIS. When Mr. Bissessa came into power in 2010, my pension rose to $3,000. Now I'm hearing PNM say, if you have money saved, they could take away your pension. I can't wait to vote UNC again. When UNC wins, senior citizens like myself win.
At Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chaguanas, we are committed to providing quality products for all major building projects. Let's build together with rebars and beams, BRC coils and mats, RHS and angles, roofing sheets and purlins, lumber, plywood and MDF. Bagwansing's, building homes, building communities, building TNT for over 60 years. Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chaguanas, building value every day.
Prime Minister Stuart Young claims he has secured the commitment of the Venezuelan government following the termination of the Dragon and Coquina Mannequin gas deals.
At a PNM meeting in Point Fortin, Young told supporters he spoke with Venezuelan officials while on the way to the event. He said he received their assurance of continued cooperation. He urged citizens to remain calm and not celebrate what he described as another hurdle in the road. Young dismissed claims that TNT's energy future hinges solely on the Dragon field, pledging that if given a mandate by the electorate, he will secure gas deals in some form or fashion. The Prime Minister also pointed to several projects already underway and confirmed that production from the Manatee gas field is expected to begin in 2027. He hinted at upcoming discussions with key decision makers as efforts continue to secure the country's energy future.
We have crossed many hurdles getting as far as we have. And I stand here tonight and give you my commitment that you give me the mandate and you give the PNM the mandate, and I will continue to fight for our children and for you in Trinidad and Tobago. We will fight, we will fight, we will fight for what is right.
Meanwhile, Young pledged that a return of the People's National Movement to government would bring a transformative housing program for young people. He said this initiative would see the state distribute 3,000 lots for home construction.
We are going to start with the HDC database for first-time young people and young owners with a mortgage that they could afford of between $1 million and $1.5 million. We will provide you with the plans and you will build your own house for your family, a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom to start under a PNM government. And that is what we will do as a start for you.
Meanwhile, over in Venezuela, the opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, says she is satisfied by everything that is being done to isolate the Nicolas Maduro government and cut off funds to Venezuela, but she did not specifically refer to the U.S.'s move against TNT.
David Lee says the UNC government will still pursue cross-border energy deals with Venezuela, but instead adopt a different approach from the current PNM administration.
At a media briefing today, the opposition's shadow energy minister explained that the U.S. revocation of the country's OFAC licenses for both the Dragon and Mannequin Coquina fields was nothing to celebrate. While taking aim at the Stuart Young-led administration's handling of the deal and failure to deploy necessary strategies to secure it amid shifting geopolitics, Lee confirmed it was not the end of the road for the country's energy future. According to the UNC's deputy political leader, the party plans to reopen the Petrotrin refinery, offer incentives for local energy exploration, and engage U.S. authorities first before navigating relations with a sanctioned Venezuela.
We don't have any closed doors. I think what we'll do it the proper way. Correct. We'll do it the proper way. All right, and the proper way is that we will work with the Trump administration going forward and see how that can open back that door with the Venezuelan government. And that's and we will do it proper way. We won't be working with sanction administrations to the detriment of our citizens.
Now, we called on Prime Minister Young to break his silence on whether funds have been paid to Venezuelan authorities in the negotiations to activate the Dragon gas field in Venezuela.
Back in 2023, the government of TNT and Venezuela signed a non-disclosure agreement over the energy deal. Lee further
without any scrubbing. Take any dirty surface, spray over the grease or mold, and wash
of the Venezuelan gas deals while neglecting local exploration.
And Chief Secretary Farley Augustin is expressing disappointment with the collapse of the Dragon gas deal, blaming what he calls years of mismanagement and poor planning by the government.
At a political meeting in Plymouth last night, Augustin said the outcome isn't something he's celebrating and it's time for reflection.
And it is so unfortunate that for us, we live in a part of the world where other countries bigger than we are, can actually determine our prosperity and our future. And that another country, being sovereign and separate and independent from us, can determine whether or not we can enter into an arrangement with another neighboring country. But whether we like it or not, that's just the way the world swings.
Augustin warned that without urgent diversification and better policy decisions, history could repeat itself. He said the next 5 years would be critical for Trinidad and Tobago.
Political leader of the Patriotic Front, Michaela Pandey, says the Dragon gas deal was a lifeline for this country and the impact of the loss will be resounding. She says the government has not made any contingency plans.
This is a national, economic and geopolitical crisis.